Church of Scars is the debut album from Bishop Briggs. She's from the UK and she dabbles in alternative rock mostly, I would say. Also some indie pop elements too. And I think overall this album is a pretty debut album. It's a pretty debut album. Pretty decent debut album, I would say. I don't really think there's too much exciting going on overall, but for alternative rock songs, I mean, you can't go wrong. A lot of these songs really just like thump, you know, and that's kind of what you want from alternative rock, and it's not like Imagine Dragons, so that's also a plus. I would say the issue with this album and alternative rock in general in like the 2010s is the percussion heavy tracks, you know, like they give an anthemic tone to them which would work in a live setting and appeal to quite a lot of people, but I personally just never value that kind of thing. I think, you know, melody is more important over just heavy percussion that doesn't really leave too much other than a stompy beat. White Flag is the biggest problem in that sense, I think, but it is one of the singles and it seems to have done pretty decent for her, grabbing quite a lot of fans in, so perhaps that's the kind of stuff that will get her to be successful, I don't know. I personally prefer the irresistible Tempt My Trouble, which, oh man, is just such a friggin' great pop song, honestly. Like, if this had been released around 2008, you know, around the Amy Winehouse time, you know, the sort of like Sarah Bareilles time, you know, those sort of like Duffy type singers, those alternative rock, but kind of like sort of charming in a way and has quite an edge to them. Those kind of alternative rock singers that had a lot of pop appeal to them. Like if it had been released then in the UK, it'd have been a bit of a hit. It would have been a hit. I can't even fucking talk. However, with today's music climate, you know, nothing really goes anymore. I mean, there's no current trend right now. Portugal The Man had a top 5 hit. It's just like you don't know what's going to become popular and what isn't. It's just hard to predict anything anymore. But I can see that there's probably not going to be a huge audience for Bishop Briggs, although she's probably going to do pretty well for festival lineups. With her vocals as well, she really does sing incredibly well. Just so much passion coming out of her voice, reminding me a little bit at times of someone like Florence and the Machine. I guess not with the way the vocals sound, but just the way they kind of belt out, you know, they belt out in a very similar way. And I think that if Bishop Briggs is gonna, you know, succeed in the long run, I think these sort of more bellowing tracks that she goes for are certainly gonna be the ones that will sound the best in the future. I would say her more soulful approach to some tracks, especially the closing track, just don't interest me, honestly. Reminds me way too much of someone like Rag and Bone Man, in the way that they're just not really as soulful as they think they are, or at least as they come across. I mean, it's like soul music for people that don't know soul. Those gospel tones, I mean, I'm just not really feeling it. I'd feel it if it sounded great and authentic, but I don't know, it just feels tacked on. Not really working towards her best style. I mean, especially considering some of these tracks are rocking, some of these tracks are catchy and just got that indie pop sound that you just want to grasp onto when you hear it. It's a bit of an overplayed style, but when it's good, it's good, and I think she can do it really well when it is good. But trading that for like soulfulness, I don't know, I'd say ditch it, honestly, if I were to give her any advice. Overall though, decent album. I would say it's pretty decent, as I just said, because I said decent again, and overall it is just decent. It's a decent album. I mean, that's it. I'm gonna go C-, mostly because I think there are a few too many misses on this album. Percussion heavy tracks, soulful tracks that don't really fit her as well as they could, but indie pop bliss when it comes through. Catchiness, definitely listen to the opening track if you're going to listen to any track from this album because it's so freaking good. And that is it. If you have heard this album, let me know what you think. Go listen to it if you haven't heard it, and then let me know what you think. And then subscribe to the channel for more reviews. Have a good day. Have a good day. Yes.